In this class, we're going to be considering question on project appraisal and evaluation. Okay, please, I want you to take down the question. The Agrofeed Limited has two investment proposals, project A and B, which have an initial outlay of 10,000 naira respectively and a life of 6 years each. The discount rate or cost of capital is 15%. The discount rate of cost of capital is 15%. The expected income streams are shown below. I showed it on the board. Okay, this is the expected income stream table. You understand? Okay, now the question says we should calculate the payback period, the NPV, the BCR, and the IRR of projects A and B. You can see that this is a long session, so please, I want you to pay attention. Do you understand? Just follow. I will take it step by step. Just pay attention as I solve the question. Now, let me start by saying this. When we talk about payback period, what do we mean by payback period? Payback period in project appraisal now. Payback period refers to the numbers of years required to recover the original cash outlay invested in a project. You understand? Please, just pay attention. You're going to understand every bit of the concept. Okay? Payback period refers to the numbers of years. When we talk about payback means returning the money that you borrowed. You understand? Period means years. You understand? Now, combine both. Payback period. The numbers of years required to recover the original cash outlay invested in a project. You understand? Okay? Now, having known the meaning of payback period, let's talk about the NPV. NPV simply means net present value. You understand? Pay attention. NPV simply means net present value. And I'm going to, by the time we go to that calculation, I'm going to explain what is meant by NPV. Now, let's first calculate the payback period. Do you understand? Now, having known the meaning of payback period, from the question, we are given that the initial outlay is 10,000 naira. Now, if you might encounter a question that says initial cash outlay is also the same thing. Do you understand? Cash outlay is also the same thing as initial outlay. And the life of the project is 6 years. The life of the project is what? 6 years. 6 years. And the discount rate is 15%. The discount rate is 15%. Okay? Now, we are now given these expected streams of income. Let's start with the payback period. The payback period, I'm going to represent it as PVP. You understand? The payback period, I don't know what happened to this marker. PVP equals to cash outlay all over, what happened to this marker? Oh God. Cash outlay all over the cash inflow. Cash inflow. Do you understand? Okay, this is the formula for calculating the payback period. Now, this formula is used if the cash inflow is the same throughout the year. You understand? Please pay attention. In the question, we are given that the expected income streams, in this case, the expected income stream is also known as the cash inflow. You understand? Please pay attention. The expected income stream is also known as the cash inflow. The formula for calculating payback period is cash outlay all over cash inflow. We know that the cash outlay for each of the projects is what? 10,000 naira. That is, the cash outlay for project A is 10,000 naira. Cash outlay is 10,000 naira. And the cash outlay for project B is also what? 10,000 naira. Now, the cash inflow is also the same thing as the income streams. You understand? Don't be confused if you didn't see cash inflow in the question. Cash inflow is all the same thing as the income stream. Now, since the income stream or the cash inflow is not the same through the years, for example, if you look at project A, the income stream of year 1 is what? 5,000 naira. For year 2 is 4,000 naira. For year 3 is 3,000. Year 4 is 1,000 naira. Year 5 and 6 is 100 naira. Now, these income streams are not the same. So, how do we go about calculating the payback period? If we check project B as well, the income stream is not the same. You understand? So how do we calculate the payback period? To calculate the payback period, we just have to sum the income stream of each year. You understand? Now, we have to sum the cash inflow or the income stream of each project. The year which the cash inflow is the same with the cash outlay will be the payback period of that specific project. I'm going listen to the explanation again. Because the income stream is not the same throughout the year, to get the payback period, you are going to sum the income stream of each year. The year which the income stream is equals to the initial outlay or cash outlay will be the payback period of that specific project. You understand? Let's say the income stream of project A is the same. Maybe it is 2,500 naira. You understand? You can easily calculate the payback period by dividing the cash outlay by the income stream, which is 2,500 naira. You understand? But because the income stream is not the same, so I'm not going to use this formula now. To get the payback period, we are going to sum the income stream. The year which the income stream is equals to 10,000 naira, that is the payback period. You understand? Okay, now let's go. The payback period for project A. The payback period for project A will be equals to, now I'm going to start from the first year. The income stream of the first year for project A is what? 5,000 naira. So I'm going to have 5,000 naira plus the second year is what? 4,000 naira plus, okay? Now, the third year is 3,000 naira. If I add 3,000 naira to this income stream, it will be greater than 10,000 naira. To make the income stream 10,000 naira, I need 1,000 naira from year 3. You understand? Listen to the explanation again. To get the payback period of project A, I'm going to add the income stream from the first year up to the year where the income stream is equals to the initial outlay. The initial outlay is what? 10,000 naira. So I'm going to add the income stream. The first year is 5,000 naira. The second year is 4,000 naira plus. Now, I'm having 3,000 in the third year for project A now. Okay, we are focusing on project A now. So you understand what I'm saying? So we have 3,000 naira in the third year. How do we calculate? If I have 3,000 naira to this project, to this income stream, it will be 9,000 naira plus 3,000 naira. That is what? 12,000 naira. It is greater than the initial cash outlay. How do we go about it? It remains 1,000 naira to make the cash inflows equals to the cash outlay. We need 1,000 naira from the 3,000 naira of the third year. So in this case, I'm going to do some arithmetic. Just pay attention, okay? It's simple. I'm going to do some arithmetic. You know that in the third year, please pay attention. In the third year, the cash inflow or the income stream of project A is what? 3,000 naira. Pay attention. In the third year, a single year now is the third year. Pay attention. Year 1, this is what they get, and what they get from the project. Year 2, this is what they get. Year 3, this is what they get. So in a single year, which is year 3, we have what? 3,000 naira. In a single year, which is year 3, please pay attention. In a single year, which is year 3, it is what? The income stream is 3,000 naira. Now, let us represent the time it will take to have an income stream of 1,000 naira as X. Please, do you understand what I did? Ordinarily, if I have 3,000 naira to this to this income stream, it will be greater than 10,000 naira. But we need the exact time which the initial cash outlay will be the same with the income stream. You understand? So if it takes 1 year to get 3,000 naira, let us represent X year, the year of X that it will take to get 1,000 naira. That's what I did. You understand? It takes 1 year to get 3,000 naira. So it will take X year to get 1,000 naira, because I need 1,000 naira to be added to this income stream to make it exactly 10,000 naira. Do you understand? So now here I'm going to take the cross product. So 3,000 naira multiplied by x equals to 1,000 naira. You understand? So divide both by 3,000. This over 3,000 and this over 3,000. X is equals to what? 1 over 3,000. X is equals to 1 over 3 year. You understand? Do you understand? Okay. So please pay attention. X is equals to 1 over 3 year. In a year, we have 12 months. That means that X will be equals to what? 1 over 3 multiplied by 12, which is equals to 12 over 3 equals to what? 4 months. Okay. Do you understand? Now, this year is what? 1 year. This year is what? 2 years. Now, the amount that I'm going to be added to make this income stream to be exactly 10,000 naira is not up to a year again. It is what? 4 months. So in that case, the payback period for project A, is what? 2 years. 2 years plus 4 months. Do you understand? Listen to the explanation again, okay? If you don't understand, listen to the explanation again. If I add this together, it is what? 9,000 naira. If I have 3,000, which is here 3, it will be more than 10,000 naira. Do you understand? So, in 2 years, please pay attention. In 2 years, 5,000 naira plus 4,000 naira, that is what? 9,000 naira. You understand? 9,000 naira. Now, in 4 months, that is 1,000 naira. You understand? So, the payback period of project A is 2 years. 2 years, 4 months. You understand? Or, you can also put like this. 2 over 3 years. You understand? So, if you didn't understand, I don't know, just listen to the explanation again. That's why I said pay attention when I start this class. Okay? So, it takes 2 years to realize 9,000 naira. As you can see here, you can see it takes 2 years. The first year from the project, we realize 5,000 naira. The second year, we realize 4,000 naira. This plus this is what? 9,000 naira. So, it takes 2 years to realize 9,000 naira. Now, it takes 4 months to realize 1,000. This is 1,000 naira, okay? It takes 1 year to realize 1,000. I mean, it takes 4 months to realize 1,000 naira. As you can see, the calculation for the 4 months is what I did here. You understand? And that is how to go about it. Now, let us calculate for project B now. Okay? So, the payback period of project A is 2 years and 4 months. Now, let's calculate the payback period of project B. The payback period of project B will also be equals to 1,000 naira. You understand? 1,000 naira plus the second year is 2,000 naira. Then plus the third year is what? 3,000 naira. 3,000 naira. The fourth year is 4,000 naira. So this is up to 10,000 naira. All is what? The sum is what? 10,000 naira. You can see now. So because it is at the fourth year in which the cash inflow or the income stream is equals to the cash initial outlay. That means that the payback period for project B is what? 4th year. You understand? The payback period is 4 years. For project B equals to 4 years. You understand? So, because the sum of the income stream is equals to the initial outlay at the 4th year, the payback period of project B is what? 4 years. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? So, that's how to calculate the payback period of both projects. Now, the next question says we should determine the net present value. Now, how do we calculate the NPV? NPV simply means net present value. Net present value refers to the positive difference between the sum of the discount value of the present value of revenue minus the sum of the discount value of the present value of the cost. You understand? Okay? I'm going to show you the mathematical expression of the net present value. NPV equals to the summation. This sign means summation, you understand? The summation of the discount value, the summation of the product of the discount value of the present value of revenue minus, pay attention, the summation of the discount value of the present value of cost. You understand? The summation of the discount value, the summation of the product. You understand now? Because the sign between the discount value and the present value of the revenue is the product sign. Okay, so it will be the summation of the product of the discount value of the and the present value of revenue minus the summation of the product of the discount value of the present value of cost. You understand? Taking the, in simple terms, the difference between the summation of the product of this and this and this and this will give us the NPV. You understand? Okay, now this is where I'm going to create a table. You understand? Because I need a table to calculate the summation of the product of the discount value and the present value of the revenue and the discount value and the present value of cost. Now you'll be asking, what do you mean by revenue? Revenue is the cash streams. You understand? Income stream is the revenue. You understand? The income streams, the cash inflow is what we call the revenue. Okay, this is the table that we are going to use to calculate the net present value. You understand? On this table we have the year, we have the discount rate at 15% because that was what was given in the question. We have project A and the income stream of project A with respect to each year, and we have project B and the income stream of project B with respect to each year. Also, we have the present value of project A. Are you paying attention? Now, this present value, I'm going to teach you how to get it. We are going to use the discount rate table to get this present value. You understand? So, please, I want you to pay attention. Let us use our discount factor table. This is how the discount factor table look like. You understand? On this discount factor table, it starts from 3%. There are some discount factor table that start from 1%. You understand? And they reach close to like maybe 20. I get what I'm saying? But this one that I'm using here, it starts from 3% and I think it stops at 15%. You understand? So now, you know, the discount factor that we're given, the discount rate that we're given in the question is 15%. You understand? So on this table, we are going to locate 15%. You understand? Don't forget, 15% for year 1 to year 6. You understand? That's what we need. We don't need year 0. You understand? You can see year 0 here, but we don't need year 0. You understand? We need only year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's go to year 1 under 15%. This is year 1. You understand? Under 15%, that will be 0.8696. You see now? Year 1 under 15% is what? 0.8696. If you look at, you will see it here. Year 1 under 15%, 0.8696. Okay, so I'm going to write it there. Here will be 0.8696. Do you understand? Okay, now let's do for year 2 also. For year 2, we are going to have this is year 2. Okay, this is year 2. Yeah, we have year 2 here. Let us trace it to 15%. 15%. Year 2 under 15% is 0.7561. Please, do you see? Can you see where I point that marker? You can see year 2 under 15% is 0.7561. So what I'm going to have here is 0.7561. Do you understand? Okay, so let's check year 3. For year 3, we are going to have this is year 3. You can see this is year 3. But year 3 under 15%, that's what we are looking for. Under 15%, that is year 3 under 15%, that is 0.6575. You understand? 0.6575. So for this, I'm going to have 0.6575 0.75. So you can see how I've gotten the discount rate of each year under 15%. So that's how you are going to get the discount rate. Do you understand? So for the fourth year will be 0.5718, 0.5718, and the fifth year will be 0.4972, 0.4972, and the sixth year will be 0.4323. You understand? 0.4323. So that is the discount rate of at 15% from year 1 to year 6. Now, to get the present value of project A, we have been given that the income stream of project A of each year from year 1 to year 6 is what? This. You understand? Now, to get the present value, the PV means the present value. You understand? To get the present value of project A, we have to take the product of the discount rate of each the discount rate of each year and the income stream of each year. You understand? That is why we call the net present value the summation of the discount value, the product of the summation of the product of the discount value and the present value of the project, which is our revenue, minus the summation of the product of the discount value and the present value of the cost. You understand? So that is it. You understand what I'm saying? So now, because, please pay attention, the PV, which is the present value of project A, will be the product of the discount rate of each year and the income stream of each year. You understand? Listen to the explanation again. The present value of project A now will be the product of the discount rate of each year and the income stream of each year. You understand? So if I want to get the value of these cells, I'm going to take the product of 0.8696 and 5,000 naira. Do you understand? If you do understand, listen to the explanation again. If I want to get the value of these cells, which is the present value for the first year, it will be the discount rate at 50% of the first year, which is this, and the income stream of the first year, which is 5,000 naira. So if you take the product of 0.8696 and 5,000 naira, you're going to get 4348. 4348. This will be 4348. Okay. And the second year, we are going to take the product of 0.7561 and 4,000 naira. If you take the product of 0.7561 and 4,000 naira, you are going to have 3,024.4. 3,024.4. You understand? So for the third year, for the present value of project A of the for the third year, that will be the product of 0.6575, which is the discount rate of the third year, multiplied by the income stream, which is what? 3,000 naira. And if you take the product, you are going to have 1,972.5. 1,972.5. Okay. So for the fourth year, that will be 0.5718 multiplied by 1,000 naira. If you take the product of 0.5718 multiplied by 1,000 naira, that is 571.8. 571.8. Okay. For the fifth year, that will be 49.72. Okay. 49.72, and this will be 43.23. 43.23. You understand? So that is the present value of project A. Are you paying attention? Now let's calculate for project B also. For project B, the present value for the first year will be the product of the discount rate of the first year and the income stream of project B for the first year. You understand? Listen again. For project B, the present value of the first year will be the product of the discount rate of the first year at 15% now. The discount rate of the at 15% for the first year multiplied by the income stream of project B for the first year. So for this, I'm going to have 1,000 naira multiplied by 1,000 naira multiplied by 0.8696. That will be 869.6. You understand? For these cells, I'm going to have 2,000 naira multiplied by 0.7561. That will be 1512.2. 1,512.2. And for these cells, I'm going to have 3,000 naira multiplied by 0.6575. That will be 1972.5. 1972.5. Okay, and for this sales I'm going to have 4,000 naira multiplied by 0.5718. That will be 2,287.2. 2,800 and 2,287. Okay, 2,287.2. You understand? And for this sales I'm going to multiply 5,000 naira and 0.4972. You understand? And if you take the product, you're going to have 2,486. Okay, 2,486. And for the last sales, which is the last sale for project B, now will be the product of 6,000 naira and 0.4323. That will give us 2,593.8. 2,593.8. You understand? So having gotten the present value of the income stream of each year, now don't forget that net present value is what? The difference between the product of the discount value. The discount value is that we take the product of this and the income stream. That is how we get the discount value. Now I told you that the income stream is all the same thing as what? The revenue. You understand? Income stream, the income that comes in is the revenue. Are you paying attention? Now, we have to get, for each project, we have to get the net present value differently. Okay? We have to get the net present value differently. Hence, because we have been given that the initial cash outlay is what? 10,000 naira. I'm going to sum to get the net present value of project A now. Please pay attention. The NPV of project A will now becomes the summation of the discount value, the product of the discount value and the PV of project A minus the summation of the DV and PV of the cost. You understand? See, the initial outlay is the cost. Are you paying attention? And because the cost is not in table, please pay attention, because the cost is not on the table, we just have to make use of the 10,000 directly. You understand? Listen to the explanation again. The net present value of project A is the product, the summation of the product of the discount rate and the PV of project A. So now the next step is that I'm going to sum all these values together. You understand? Please pay attention. We want to determine the net present value of project A now. Okay? So to determine the net present value of project A, I'm going to sum the product of the discount value multiplied by the present value of project A. You understand? The present value of the revenue is the income stream of project A. Please let that be in your mind. Okay? The revenue of project A is also the same thing as the income stream. So having taken the products, I'm going to sum all these together. Okay? So if we add all these values together, we're going to have 10,009.65. 10,009, okay, 0.65. You understand? Sorry, the box is not big enough. So if you add all these values together, that is what we mean by summation. This sign means summation. So when I sum all this together, I get 10,009.65. Now, for this, I'm going to have the NPV, net present value of A, will be equals to 10,009.65 minus the initial cash outlay. That is what? 10,000 naira. Okay, let me put naira now. Okay, minus the initial cash outlay, which is 10,000 naira. Now, if you take the difference, you are going to have 9.65. 9 naira 65 kobo. That is the net present value for project A now. Do you understand? And the reason why we don't take the product of the discount rate of 15%, I mean, we don't take the product of discount rate, is because for the initial cash outlay now, because you know the product, the formula says we should, the difference between the sum of the product of the discount value and the income stream of project A minus the sum of the product of the discount value and the the cost of project A, and the initial cash outlay. The cash outlay is also the same thing as the cost. You understand? So the cost is 10,000 naira. We don't take the product of the discount value, discount rate, and the cost because it is not on the table. You understand? We are given only a single cost, so we use it directly. You understand? We use it directly. Pay attention. We use the cost directly because we are given a single cost. The cost doesn't change across the years. Do you understand? So that is why we use the 10,000 naira directly. You will have come across a question in which they gave you the revenue or the income stream separately, and they gave you the cost separately, and the cost differs in each year. You might want to take the product of the discount rate at that particular with respect to that question. Do you understand? Okay, so the net present value of A is what? 9.65. The net present value, NPV, for project A is what? 9.65 naira. Okay, now let us determine the net present value for project B. To determine the net present value for project B, we are still going to use the same approach. Okay, we are going to sum the PV of project B. The present value, please pay attention. We are going to sum all this together because for project B now we are going to have the net present value for project B will be equals to the summation of the product of the discount value and the present value of project B minus the summation of the discount value and summation of the product of the discount value and the present value of project B. You understand? Okay, for the cost, sorry, this should be for the cost. So for this, if you add all this together, that is 869.6 plus all this up to this, we are going to have let me add this together. I'm going to have something like this. Okay, if you sum all this together, we are going to have 11,721.3. okay, 11,721.3. you understand? So for this, I'm going to have the difference between this sum and the initial cash outlay will be the net present value of B. Do you understand? If you didn't understand, listen to the explanation again. Okay, so when I sum this together, I have 11,721.3 minus the initial cash outlay, which is 10,000 naira. So for this, we're going to have 1,721.3 naira. That is the net present value of project B. Do you understand? Okay, so we've gotten the net present value of project A and the net present value of project B. The next question says we should calculate the benefit cost ratio, which is the BCR. Okay, to get the benefit cost ratio, the benefit cost ratio is given by this formula: the summation of the product of the discount value and the present value of the revenue all over the summation of the discount value, the summation of the product of the discount value and the present value of the cost. Now, because we are dealing with two projects, we are going to have two benefit cost ratio. You understand? The first benefit cost ratio we are going to calculate for project A, and the second we are going to calculate for project B. You understand? Okay, so the benefit cost ratio for project A will be equal to the sum of the discount value and the sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of project A. Okay, the sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of project A all over the sum of the discount value and the present value of the cost. The cost here is the cash outlay. You understand? The cost is the cash outlay. Do you understand? So for this, I'm going to have the BC. Please pay attention. The BCR for project A now. BCR for project A will be equals to, don't forget that we have determined this. This is equals to this. You understand? Please pay attention. This is equals to this. Sum of the product of the discount value, sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of A is 10,009.65. So I'm going to have 10,000, okay, 10,009.65 all over the sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of the cost, which is the cash outlay. The cash outlay is what? 10,000 naira. So I'm going to have this over 10,000 naira. Do you understand? So the benefit cost ratio of project A will be equals to 10,000 naira, okay, 10,000 naira and 9.65. Let me quickly take the calculator here. Divided by 10,000 naira, that is 1.0. You understand? That is 1.0. 1.0. Okay, that is the benefit cost ratio of A, BCR. The BCR of A equals to 1.0. So let's get the benefit cost ratio of B. The benefit cost ratio of B will be equals to the sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of the revenue gotten from B, which is 11,721.3 all over the cash out. All over the sum of the discount the sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of the cost. You understand? So for this, I'm going to have this over 10,000 naira. The reason why, pay attention. The reason why we are making use of this 10,000 naira directly is because we didn't have various costs. We are not giving it on the table. You understand? You will come across question on project appraiser where you are going to have the table of total revenue and the table of total cost. In that case, you are going to take the product of the discount rate. Each discount rate of each year, you are going to take their products. You understand? It is that sum that you are going to be using to divide this. I don't know, maybe you get what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is that in question whereby you are given the table of total revenue, the total cost separately, you must take the product of the discount rate at the percent that you are given. Having taken the product of the discount rate and the total cost that you are given, their sum will be the sum of the discount value and the present value of the cost. Do you understand? That is what I mean. But now we are given the initial cash outlay, which is the cost, which is what, 10,000 naira. So we use 10,000 naira directly. You understand? So that's what I'm trying to that's what I'm insinuating. Okay, so divide this by this. We are going to have 1.17. okay, 1.172. You can have something like this, 1.172 and others like that. Just leave it at 3 decimal place. Okay, so the benefit cost ratio of B equals to 1.172. okay, so that is the benefit cost ratio of B. Now, having gotten the benefit cost ratio of B and the benefit cost ratio of B and of A, let us determine the IRR. The IRR means internal rate of return. You understand? Internal rate of return can be defined as the interest rate that equates the present value or the future cash flow to the initial cash outlay. You understand? Pay attention and listen to the explanation again. The IRR can be defined as the interest rate that equates the present value or the future cash flow to the initial cash outlay. If they are equal, then the difference will be 0. You understand? If the present value is equals to the initial cash outlay, when you take their difference, the difference will be what? 0. So I'm going to explain. Just pay attention, okay? You know, we define IRR as the interest rate that equates the present value to the initial cost outlay. You understand? So in that case, IRR is the point where the NPV, net present value, equals to 0. You understand? You know that if the present value, you understand, like we determined in our previous calculation, if the present value is equals to the initial outlay, that means that the difference will be equals to 0, because NPV is the difference between the cash inflow, the sum of the discount value, the sum of the product of the discount value and the cash inflow minus the sum of the difference between the product of the discount value and the cost. You understand? So please pay attention. NPV equals to the sum of the discount value of the present value of the revenue minus the sum of the discount value, the sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of the cost. You understand? And the cost that we are given in the question is what? 10,000 naira. That is the cash outlay. And we determine the revenue of each project. Are you paying attention? Now, if this is equal to this, if this is equal to maybe 10,000 naira, and this also is also equals to what? 10,000 naira. That means that 10,000 naira minus 10,000 naira, that will be what? 0. That is why I say the point where NPV equals to 0 is what we call the IRR. You understand? Do you understand what I'm trying to explain now? IRR is defined as the interest rate that equates the present value or the present value to the initial cash outlay. So now that means that when we are dealing with IRR, we are going to have two interest rates. Pay attention. It is not all interest rates that equates the present value or the cash inflow to the cash outlay. You understand? For example, the previous discount rate that we use in our calculation is what? 15%. Is that not it? Now you can see that both the cash outlay, even though for project A it is almost the same, but if you look at project B, it is not the same. We use 15%. In our previous calculation. That means that we got the sum of the discount value, the sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of for the cash inflow of project A to be what? 10,009.65, if you remember. You understand? So you can see that it is almost the same, even though it is not the same. But if you check for project B, we got 11,721.3. So that means that when we are dealing with IRR, we are going to have more than one rate. You understand? Are you paying attention? So the discount rate at which the present value is equals to the initial cost outlay, that rate is what we call the internal rate of return. Do you understand? That is why we have more than one rate. Are you paying attention? So we have gotten the first rate. The first rate is what? 15%. The first discount rate, 15%. You understand? This is the rate. This is the first rate that we use. Now we have to determine another rate, which we make our calculation to be negative. Let me just put it like that. We have to determine another rate, another discount rate that will make our calculation to be negative. Now, if 15% make our calculation to be positive, we have to choose a rate that is higher than 15%, but it is also closer than 15%. It must be greater than 15% and maybe closer to 15%. You understand? But it must not be 15% again. Are you paying attention? So we are going to make use of 20. You understand? Of course, I've already checked this one. I've checked the calculation that which rate can I use that will give me negative. You understand? So I've checked this, but in your own time you might be you might be given a question whereby you are going to be checking. You can check 16, check 17, check 18, check 19 before you come to 20. But this one I've already checked and I see that 20%, using the rate of 20% will give me a negative. You understand? Before I can now determine the IRR. Do you understand? So we have gotten the first rate, which is 50%. In our previous calculation, it gave us positive. Now we have to use a discount rate that will give us a negative net present value. You understand? When we use 15%, we got positive net present value for project A and B. Now we have to use another rate that will give us negative net present value. You understand? So that is I'm going to use discount rate. Discount rate now, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use discount rate of 20. Okay, 20%. You understand? Do you understand? Okay. So that means that I'm going to have another table. But before that, I'm going to give you the formula to calculate the internal rate of return. Okay? I'm going to give you the formula to calculate the internal rate of return. The internal rate of return, IRR, please pay attention, equals to, pay attention please. The internal rate of return, or IRR, is equals to, I'm going to explain each term in this formula. Okay? LDR, are you paying attention? Plus change in 2DR multiplied by NPV of the low LDR. You just have to pay attention, okay? See, what you have to do is just listen to the explanation when I'm explaining, okay? You can decode your own formula with what you know that you're going to remember. You understand? For me, I decode this and I decode my formula using this. You understand? Even when I'm solving the exam, this is what I use. Okay? So, all over the sum of the DR, all over the sum of absolute value of MPV. Okay, let me just put it like that. Please just listen to this explanation. The LDR means the lower discount rates, are you paying attention, plus change in the two discount rates multiplied by NPV, which is the net present value of the lower discount rates, all over the sum of the absolute value of the net present value. You understand? Please, all you have to do is just pay attention when I'm solving. You are going to understand it. Do you understand? Okay, so let's start the solution. Now I'm going to have table. Please pay attention. The first step here is that I want to determine the NPV of project A and B at 20% now. You understand? Because when we are dealing with IRR, are you paying attention? We have already gotten the first part, which is the 15%. Let me just put like that. Then we are using another discount rate that will give us an NPV that will be negative. You understand? For each project. So I'm going to construct another table that will look like the previous one, but the rate now will not be what, 15%. It will now be 20%. Okay? It will not be 15% now. It will be 20%. Do you understand? So by the time I start using this formula, you're going to understand. Okay? So I'm going to have another table here. So this is the newly constructed table. On this table, I have the year, I have the discount factor at 20%, I have project A in Naira, we have all this for, this is for income stream for project A, and this is for income stream of project B. Now, what I want to determine now is the value of these cells, and these cells, you understand? So I'm going to make use of the discount factor table to determine the value of each year at 20%. Do you understand? So please kindly pay attention. Do you understand? The previous discount factor table that we used is only up to 15%, and now we are dealing with discount factor that we the discount rate that we have is now 20%. So I'm going to show you this using my phone. Okay, we're going to get this on my phone. Just pay attention. Now this is the discount factor table that we're going to be using. Are you paying attention? Now we need for year 1 to 6 under 20%. You can see the years, Abi. I'm very sure you can. Can you see this? You can see the years. We have year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You understand? Now let us start with year 1. Year 1 under 20% is, okay, let's go. Year 1 under 20% is 0.8333. Can you see it? Year 1, the first digit here, the first digit on the top of 0.8333, that one is for year 0. You understand? Are you paying attention? That 1.0000, that one is for year 0. The beneath is year 1. You understand? Beneath that 1.000, that is 0.8333. Can you see it? 0.8333. That one is for year 2, year 1. You understand? So year 1 under 20%, the discount rate is what? 0.8333. Do you understand? So let's go. This is 0.8333. For these cells, I'm going to have 0.8333. 8333. You understand? If you do the same for year 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you are going to get the discount rate as 0. For year 2 now, you are going to get the discount rate as 0.6944. And for year 3, you are going to get the discount rate as 0. Let me check, please. Please kindly pay attention, okay? 0.5787. For year 3 is 0.5787. You understand? And for year 4, that will be 0.4823. 0.4823. And for year 5, that will be 0.4019. 0.4019. And for, this is for year 5. Year 5 is 0.4019. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Year 5 is 0.4019. And year 6 is 0.3349. 0.3349. Do you understand? So I'm very sure you are well versed with how to use discount factor table. I've already showed it to you when we are using 15%. You understand? And I also explained how I got this, so that you are going to use the same step. Just follow the same approach. Okay? Now, having gotten the discount rates of each year, we have to determine the product of the PV, the present value. The present value of project A is 5,000 naira. We have to determine the product of 5,000. The present value for project A is 5,000 naira, 4,000 naira, 3,000 naira, 1,000 naira, 100 and 100 respectively, with respect to the year. You understand? Now, these are the present value. Here we need to take the product of PV, which is the present value of project A, and the discount. You understand? That is why NPV formula is given by this: the sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of project A. You understand? So these cells contain the sum of the product. These cells contain the product of the present value of project A and the discount factor. You understand? So for these cells, I'm going to multiply 5,000 naira and 0.8333. You understand? 5,000 naira multiplied by 0.8333. That will give me 4,116. 4,116.5. You understand? Okay? 4,116.5. Please, I'm coming. I want to check something. Times 0.8. Okay, no. Something is wrong. It is not 4,116. It is 4,166. You understand? Okay? When you multiply 5,000 naira and this together, it is 4,166.5. Okay? So let us move to the second cell. You are going to take the product of the present value of project A multiplied by the discount factor. Discount rate. So I'm going to have 0.6944 multiplied by 4,000 naira. That is 2,777. 2,777.6. You understand? So for this case, I'm going to have 3,000 multiplied by 3,000 multiplied by 0.5787. That is 1,736.1. You understand? And for this case, I'm going to have 0.4823 multiplied by 1,000. That is 482.3. You understand? And for this, I'm going to have 40.19. Okay? Do you understand? I'm just taking the product of this and this and this. So for this, I'm going to have 33.49. Okay? So I have gotten the product of the present value and the discount rate of the income stream of product A. You understand? This is for project A, okay? And this is for project B. Now let us also get the product of the present value and the discount rate of project B. I'm still going to use this discount rate to multiply all the income stream of project B. You understand? I'm still going to use this discount rate to multiply all the income stream on project B. So for the first one, I'm going to have 1,000 naira multiplied by 0.8333. I'm going to have 833.3. You understand? So for the second one, we're going to multiply 2,000 naira by 0.6944. 2,000 naira multiplied by 0.6944, that is 1,388.8. 1,388.8. You understand? This is not 3, it is 8. Okay. So for the next time, I'm going to have 3,000 multiplied by 0.5787. That is 1,736.1. 1,736.1. And this else is 4,000 multiplied by 0.4823. So for this, I'm going to have 1,929.2. 1,929. I want to check this. 1,929.2. You understand? So 5,000 multiplied by 0.4019. That is 2009.5. 2009.5. Okay. And 6,000 multiplied by 0.3349. That is 2009.4. Okay. Let me withdraw this. Okay. I'm just. Now, when you add all this together, you're going to have 9,906.3 for this, 9,906.3. That is for project B. For project A, we're going to have 9,236.18. 9,236.18. Do you understand? Okay. Now, don't forget the goals. The goals is to determine the net present value. You understand? And the net present value is the product of the discount value and the present value of the income stream from each project. You understand? So having calculated the product of the present value and the discount value of the income stream of each project, this is it. For project A, it is this, and for project B, it is this. You understand? Now we are going to calculate the net present value. Don't forget that the initial outlay is what? 10,000 naira. Initial outlay equals to 10,000 naira. Okay. Okay. So the net present value for project A now, the NPV for project A will be the net present value equals to, for project A, it will be the sum of the product of the discount value and the present value of income stream of project A. That is 9,236.18. 9,236.18 minus the cash outlay. You understand? The cash outlay is what? 10,000 naira. So I've told you the reason why we use 10,000 why we use 10,000 naira directly. You understand? So for this, I'm going to have minus 10,000. Oh, I'm supposed to put naira. Okay. You're supposed to put naira. You understand? NPV for project A equals to, this is supposed to have naira, and we're supposed to have naira here. So I've put naira. So don't make that mistake in the exam. You understand? Those are part of the thing that the examiner look at. Now, so if you take the difference between this and this, you're going to have that is negative 763.81. Okay, so let's calculate the net present value for project B. That will be 9,906.3. 9,000. Okay. 9,906.3 minus 10,000 naira. Okay. So if you take the difference, let me calculate. That will be negative 93.7. Okay. Negative 93.7. You understand? Okay. So you've seen now this discount rate, the discount rate at 20%, it gives us negative NPV for both project A and B. Now, let's go back to calculate the IRR now. You understand? Please, I'm going to erase this table now because we are done with it. You understand? So the reason why we create this table is because we want to determine the negative NPV for project A and B. You understand? And we've done that. So in an attempt to help me to, I will still use that space to calculate the IRR. So I'm going to erase this table. So make sure that you keep it when you are done. Make sure that you pen this down. Okay, so now let us calculate the IRR for each project. You understand? This one is, let us have rate of 20%, discount rate of 20%. As discount rate of 20%, the NPV of project A, NPV of project A is what? Negative 763.81. You understand? And at the rate of 20%, the NPV of project B is what? That is negative 93.27. You understand? So at the rate of 15%, the NPV of project A is what? That is 9.65. Okay, 9.65. Please remember to put naira. Okay. Oh God, I will still have to erase this. Remember to put naira. Do you understand? The NPV is negative 763.81 naira, and this one is negative 93.7 naira. Okay, and this one is 9.65 naira. You understand? Then the NPV of project B, this is N. Okay, the NPV of project B now is 1,721.3 naira. You understand? So now let us go back to this formula. We want to calculate the internal rate of return for project A. You understand? And I gave you that the internal rate of return equals to the lower discount rate. LDR means lower discount rate, and lower discount rate plus change in the two discount rates. You understand? The two discount rates at what? 20 and 15. You understand? Lower discount rate plus change in the two discount rates. Change in this place means the difference, the positive difference between the two discount rates. You understand? Multiplied by the net present value of the lower discount rate all over the sum of the absolute value of NPV. Okay, please just pay attention. I'm going to explain. The sum of the absolute value of NPV. Let me just put like this: NPV. I'm very sure you will have come across this in mathematics. This sign means absolute value. You understand? So let us proceed. So let us calculate the IRR of A. To get the IRR of A, I'm going to have LDR, the lower discount rate. Now for A now, the lower discount rate is what? 15%. So I'm going to have 15. Please, are you following? Plus the difference between the two discount rates. That is change to DR. The difference between the two discount rates. We have two discount rates. Are you paying attention? The first discount rate is 15% and the second is 20%. You understand? The lower discount rate among these discount rates is what? 15%. So I have the lower discount rate, which is 15%, plus the change in the two discount rates. Change means the difference. You understand? The difference between the two discount rates is what? 20 minus 15. You understand? Multiplied by. So are you getting what I'm trying to say? NPV of the lower discount rate. The NPV of the lower discount rate for A now. Are you paying attention? The NPV of the lower discount rate for project A is what? 9.65. The lower discount rate is what? 15. The NPV of A at 15% is what? 9.65. Do you understand now? So this will be multiplied by 9.65. Please, if you didn't understand, listen to the explanation again. Okay? I'm just trying to explain the formula while solving. Are you paying attention? I'm just trying to explain the formula while solving. Now, for this, I'm going to have all over the sum of the absolute value of NPV Now pay attention. When we talk about absolute value means neglecting the signs. For example, if I'm to take the absolute value of, I'm just looking at where I can write this. Let's say A equals to -5. The absolute value of A is what? 5. You understand? B equals to 3. The absolute value of B is what? Is also the same thing as 3. You understand? C equals to -49.1. The absolute value of C is what? 49.1. Neglecting the negative sign. You understand? So that is what I mean by absolute value. So now the denominator now said we should take the sum of the absolute value. So the sum of the absolute value of NPV of A, we have two NPV. We have one NPV of A at 20%, we have another NPV of A at what? At 15%. So now I'm going to add both NPV of A at 20% and NPV of A at 15%. NPV of A at 20% is what? Negative 763.81. Here I'm going to take the absolute value. You understand? So the negative sign is eliminated. You understand? So I'm going to have 763.81 plus the absolute value of NPV of A at 15% is what? 9.65. So I'm going to have plus 9.65. Do you understand? If you didn't understand, listen to the explanation again. Okay? So the internal rate of return of A equals to 15. Please pay attention. 15. 20 minus 15. That is what? 5. So I'm going to have plus 5 multiplied by 9.65 all over 763.81 plus 9.65. That is 773.46. 773.46. Okay? Oh, I want to make an adjustment. You understand? Please pay attention. I want to make an adjustment. This lower discount rate shouldn't be part of the numerator. You understand? There is a sign separating this lower discount rate and this fraction entirely. You understand? So but I'm going to restructure the formula like this. The lower discount rate plus, okay? Do you understand? So this will be 15. It's also the same thing. There is nothing that's changed. It's just that I want to restructure. I don't want you to think that this lower discount rate is also part of the numerator. Are you paying attention? There are two fractions here, and the fraction is separated by a plus sign. You understand? So this will be 15 plus. Do you understand? And this also will be 15 plus. You understand? 15 plus. Do you understand? Do you understand? So that you won't get confused. That's the reason why I separately. Because many a times, when we get to this point, people just take the difference and then take the product of, they take the difference here and then add it to 15. That's not so. You understand? This is the two fraction, and this fraction is separated by a plus sign. One is 15 and the other one is the other part of the fraction. The right hand side part of the fraction. Okay? So the IRR of project A will be equals to 15 plus 5 multiplied by 9.65. That is 48.25. 48.25 all over 773.46. You understand? So the IRR, let me just put it there. The IRR of project A equals to 15 plus 48.25 divided by 773.46. That is 0.0624. Okay, 0.0624. You understand? So we can add this together. We're going to have IRR for project A equals to 15 plus 0.0624. That is 15.0. Okay, no. Yeah, 15.0624. You can approximate to maybe 2 decimal places. You understand? So the IRR of project A equals to 15.06. This is to 2 decimal places. Do you understand? You can leave it. You can leave your answer in 2 decimal places. Now let us calculate the IRR of project B. 15.06. Okay, now so let us calculate the IRR of project B. You understand? Internal rate of return for project B. Please, I want you to pay attention. You still have to go the same way. IRR of project B equals to the lower discount rate. The lower discount rate is still what? 15. You understand? So I'm going to have 15 plus the difference between the two discount rates, which is what? 20 minus 15 multiplied by the NPV of the lower discount rate. You know, we have two NPV for project B. You understand? Don't forget that our focus now is on B, it's not on A now. We have two NPV for project B. The first NPV is what? NPV at the rate of 15%. That NPV is what? 1,721.3. And we have another NPV at the rate of 20%. The NPV of project B at 20% is negative 93.7. You understand? Now, we are to put the NPV of the lower discount rate. The NPV of lower discount rate is what? The NPV of the rate of 15%, because 15% is less than 20%. You understand? So the NPV that we're going to use here is what? 1,721.3. Okay? So for this, I'm going to have 1,721.3 all over the sum of the absolute value of the NPV. So for this, I'm going to have 1,721.3 plus, now I'm going to neglect the negative sign because having taken the absolute value, I'm going to have 93.7. Okay, so for this, I'm going to have the IRR of project B now is 15 plus 5 multiplied by 1,721.3 all over 1. Okay, let's add this together. Let us add 1,721.3 plus 93.7. That is 1,815. So I'm going to have here 1,815. Okay, so the IRR of project B equals to 15 plus 5 multiplied by 1,721.3. That is 8,606.5. This all over 1,815. You understand? Okay, so the IRR for project B equals to 15 plus, now 8,606.5 divided by 1,815, that is 4.74. You understand? 15 plus, that will be 15 plus 4.742. Let me just put it like that. Okay, so the IRR equals to 15 plus 4.74, that is 19.742. You understand? So the IRR for project B equals to 19.742. You understand? So you can leave it in 3 decimal place or 2 decimal place. Since we are dealing with rates, because the full meaning of IRR is internal rate of return. You understand? So I'm going to approximate this to a whole number. You understand? So I can put percent. Okay, so the internal rate of return for project A now will becomes, if I approximate this to a whole number, it will be 15%. So here will be 15%. Do you understand? And for this, I'm going to have, if I approximate this 7, this will become 20. You understand? So here will be 20%. 20%. Okay, so that is the solution to that question. Okay, we are done. In this class, we learned what is meant by payback period and how to calculate payback period. Also, we learned what is meant by the net present value, which is the NPV, also the BCR and the IRR. First, you understand. If you have any question, kindly let me know in the comment section. Okay, see you in the next class. To watch the next class, kindly check the description of this video. You are going to see a link there. Click on that link, or you should check the playlist on this channel. Okay, see you in the next class.